Alright, starting out with Wave Oven Recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking up some pulled pork, making some pork shoulder Boston butt in the Instapot along with the NuWave Medley XL Skillet. I'm going to be using those cookers in combination to cook this up, and I'll be showing you how that's done and why using both makes it so convenient and easy. We're basically going to be getting some pulled pork together today and showing you, taking you along for the ride, and so let's get started now. Alright, so here's my boneless pork shoulder butt. This package has two of them, and if you can see, the total weight is about 13 pounds. So it's about 6.5 pounds of per pork butt here. I'm going to get one out and put it up here on the cutting board to start preparing it before I start cooking it. The other, I'll just put it away. Alright, so I've got one of the pork shoulder butts out here on the cutting board. These are from Costco. They are already have the bone removed from these pork shoulder butts, and I know there's some of you out there that feel that the bone gives you some flavor. I'll just say, from all my cooking of pork butts with and without bone, I've found no difference, and I've seen no scientific evidence. Basically, scientifically speaking, there's nothing as far as transference of flavor from bone to meat. So pay for the meat is the way I do it. I don't pay for excess bone if I don't have to. So I'm going to get this cut up into about 6 pieces or so. Just going to chop it up. And this will make it easier to fit into the Instant Pot once I get things in there. And so I'm going to just start out by putting some sear on this meat, browning it. Just put a little sear on it, just browning it in the NuWave Medley XL Skillet. The reason why I'm using the skillet instead of the Instant Pot to just brown and put a little sear on my meat is that the skillet can hold all the meat at one time. And with the Instant Pot, you got to go like trying to swap meat around and move pieces and all that jazz, and I just don't see any need to go through all that trouble when the skillet can just hold it all, and it makes it a lot easier. So just getting these chopped up so they'll fit easily when I have to move pieces around from the skillet to the Instant Pot. So I've got this cut up into about 6 pieces. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start up my skillet. I'm going to set the skillet to 325 is the setting that I intended for the skillet. So just turn it on, turn it down to 325. I'm going to hit it again to up the time. I'm not going to, it's not going to take hours to do this. I'm just upping the time to a really high time so that it doesn't automatically turn off while I'm cooking, because the skillet will, if you have it for like a short period of time, it'll turn off. Now I've just tapped it again. I'm watching it preheat to 325. I've got some cooking spray here, and once it reaches temp, I'll just hit it with the cooking spray and start putting my meat in there. So I'll bring you back once it's preheated and just start putting some brown and a little sear on this meat. I'm not going to put any seasoning on it right now. I'll put the seasoning on it when it goes in the Instant Pot. Okay, the skillet has reached 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and the great thing about the skillet is it's just going to hold there. If you're going to be searing your meat with the Instant Pot and you're going to, do that way, you want to probably use the, in the Instant Pot, it's the saute option. So you want to use like the high saute if you want to just get it really brown and get some sear on there. If you use the medium saute, it's going to be much lighter, but that's up to you. This would be kind of more the equivalent to the higher degree saute. I'm just going to put all my meat in there. I'm going to be browning all sides of the meat, getting it nice and browned and seared. And while it's cooking, I'll be getting my Instant Pot out, my other ingredients ready, so I can transfer this meat right into the Instant Pot. So I'll just be moving that around as it gets cooked and browned. I'll bring you on back. Alright, I'm going to turn off the skillet by just holding the button here, just to stop it from cooking as hard. I'm going to start getting things into my Instant Pot now. What I've got for ingredients, I've got a cup of apple juice, a half cup apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of, I'm just using this Weber dry rub, but any pork rub of choice you can use, a tablespoon of applewood smoked sea salt. I'm going to start putting the, I'm going to be using a half a cup of Coca-Cola. I'm not going to be using barbecue sauce, but if you like, you can use some barbecue sauce in your mixture. So I'm throwing my liquids in. I'm going to get my half a cup of Coca-Cola out, and I want it fresh. It'll help break the meat down, even though the Instant Pot's going to do a great job on its own. Put in my half cup of Coca-Cola. Now I'm going to toss my meat in. So I'm going to put this lid here in this holder. And this is the Instant Pot Ultra that I have, Ultra 60. So it's just a 6-quart pot. And start putting my meat in. And now that the meat is, cut up, I should be able to contort the meat to get all pieces in the pot, right? Instead of trying to put one huge 6.5 pound piece of pork butt in by itself. So I'm just below the 2/3 line, that is your maximum fill line for the Instant Pot. I'm using the ceramic pot, by the way. It all works just as well in the steel pot. I just like the ceramic non-stick pot. So now I'm going to put my applewood smoked sea salt in over top. Just sprinkle it in and shake it all around. I'm going to take my pork rub, my Weber dry rub, shake that in, pour it all around. And as that steam and pressure and all builds, it'll all, I'm just going to actually just take and move it around a little bit. So distribute some of that rub a little bit. Alright, and we got that all in there good. Alright, make sure that my vent is sealed. Make sure that I'm fully sealed there. For cooking time, my rule of thumb for cooking the pork butt, cooking time is the weight times 10 plus another 10 minutes. So this is about 6.5 pounds of pork butt. So let's say that times 10 is about 65 or so. So that's about 65 minutes, and add another 10 minutes, 75 minutes. So I'm going to get you close in here so you can see. Alright, so I'm turning my Instant Pot on, and I definitely want to pressure cook. And I'm going to adjust my time by tapping in there, and then I'm going to turn it up to the 75 minutes that I want. That'd be 1 hour 15 minutes, 75. And so I want no delay, keep warm is fine. I'm going to do a natural release on this after it cooks. So hit the start button. And so we'll let this cook. I'll bring you on back. Okay, after 17 minutes, things are pressurized and the cook has actually begun. You see my pressure indicator is up high. It took about 12 minutes for that pressure indicator to pop up, and then another 5 minutes before things reached full pressure. So 17 minutes total to reach full pressure. Now we're cooking that 1 hour 15 minutes of cook, and then we'll let things naturally release. I'll wait at least 30 minutes before I hit the button if I see that the pressure indicator is still up, but I'll let this cook and bring you back. Okay, the cook just finished along with all the beeping, so now things will go through the natural release and I'll bring you on back. Okay, so now over 30 minutes have passed and my pressure valve is still showing there's pressure in there. So after 30 minutes I just let it go. It's I just let it finish all the rest of the pressure release by just pressing the button after 30 minutes. I don't let it just continue to sit there after 30 minutes or more. So I'm going to press the button and let the volcano explode. Alright, so now I'm going to just go ahead and take the lid off. I'm just going to hit the cancel button to stop my cook. And now I'm going to get these tongs here. And I've got my cutting board and I've got some bear claws. If you're not familiar with these, you can look in the cooking accessories section for my Amazon shop. You can see the link in the video description. There's also a direct link to these in the video description as well. And then just go ahead and unplug the pot because I won't be needing it any further. It's time to get the pork out, and it is soft. I mean, as I just grab this with the tongs, I mean, it's super soft. Super soft. That's great. Alright, seems I've gotten all my pork out, and just in time. I think if you leave it any longer, it's probably going to pull itself. Alright, so now I've got my gloves, and I'm going to take these bear claws and just, you see how easy that shreds? I mean, it's coming apart really easy. It's really tender. And so, you know, it's like instant pulled pork. Alright, there we have our pulled pork. Looks good to me. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get myself a sandwich together. I've just got myself a couple of slices of toasted wheat bread, some Haverty cheese there. I'm going to put some of that pork on. Well, actually, before I put the pork on, I like a little mayonnaise on the bottom of my bread. You can leave a comment about how you like your pulled pork on a sandwich. I'm sure everybody has a different way of getting theirs dressed up. So get some of that pork on there. Tender, juicy pulled pork. I'm going to put some of my barbecue sauce. My barbecue sauce of preference is G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is the maple brown flavor. This is, in my opinion, the best flavor of the brand. Set that on there like that. Alright, now I'll just put my bread and cheese on top. I'm going to get the camera swapped around and we'll do a taste test of this pulled pork. Alright, so I've got my sandwich and I just took a little piece of pork and put it on the side there just to taste straight. So just going to taste that. It's good, tastes good, it's tender and good, but let's taste this sandwich now. Alright, that tastes good, and I feel the Coca-Cola gives a nice little undertone of Coca-Cola to the flavor. It's pretty good. So basically, I don't know how you're going to get pulled pork tender and fully done quicker than this. I mean, it took like, you know, some time for it to pressurize. You had to brown the meat some, but you know, all in all, you know, it's a little over a couple hours, you know, and you're done. You know, maybe about 2.5 hours total or so, and you're all good and done, and you've got pulled pork. You're not going to get it nice and tender like that much any other way I can think of. So I'm definitely looking forward to your comments on this. Definitely share this video with a friend. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. I've got plenty of recipes and videos, videos and the recipes themselves, the written recipes, at superwaveovenrecipes.com. I'm on Twitter at waveovenrecipes. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell, and good eating.